Hello, my name is Pavel. Welcome back to my channel. A couple of months ago, I made a video where I reacted to a trailer for a Mickey Mouse slasher movie. And today, I'm watching that movie because I completely forgot about it and it's been out for a few months and I randomly saw it online and today I'm gonna finally watch it. I have watched a lot of weird movies on this channel. For example, Serbian film Human Centipede and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. If you know, you know. And all of those movies are very, unique. I think unique is the best word for that. And today, if you can't tell by my voice, I'm feeling a little bit sick and I need something fun, something I don't really need to think about. And I feel like maybe like a slasher movie with Mickey Mouse being in it is going to be fun. And if it's not fun, I'm not going to be happy. But I really don't have much to say. I'm just going to go watch this movie, I think. And let's hope it's actually... I feel like good is a bad adjective for movies like this. I feel like as long as it's like okay-ish, I'll be impressed, because the other movies have not impressed me, but this one might. So let's go see if that's gonna happen.
Stop. You can't trap me. You can never trap me.
Hello. I have watched the Mousetrap, Mickey's Mousetrap. I don't even know what we're going to be calling this movie because from a little bit of research, this movie seems to have a lot of titles, but that is fine. I'm excited to be back watching crappy slasher horror movies because I've not done this in a little while. I feel like the last movie that I watched was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey #2, and honestly, I kind of needed a break after watching that movie, and I got a break, and I'm back watching the Mousetrap, Mickey's Mousetrap. I have no idea what this movie is called. And before I get into reviewing this movie and talking about this movie, I feel like I need to say this. This is, swear on my life, probably the worst movie I have ever watched in my life. And I mean that with my entire soul. I am being so honest. This is genuinely, I watched this and I've never actually gotten angry at an ending this much. Like I was sitting on a couch and this movie ended and I was like, this is hands down the worst movie I have ever watched in my life, and I'm here to talk about 2024's The Mousetrap because it is so frustrating, it is so annoying, and the frustrating thing was I was excited for a crappy movie. I really wanted something crappy, and imagine that even, this wasn't even crappy enough. It was so bad that it wasn't even crappy. It couldn't even deliver on the crappiness. It was that bad. But okay, listen, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to relax. Let me read you the synopsis for The Mousetrap. Stuck working the late shift at an amusement park arcade, Alex receives a surprise visit from her friends on their 21st birthday. However, their night of fun soon turns into a fight for survival when a killer dressed as Mickey Mouse crashes their party. How do you have a killer? Mickey Mouse killer? How? Oh my gosh. Listen, I feel like I've said this with the Winnie the Pooh movie, but whenever you have like a character like Winnie the Pooh or Mickey the Mouse, you know as a fact that your movie is going to have eyes on it. People are going to watch this because people are like, oh, I know that character. I'm going to watch that character. And inevitably, you're going to have a handful of people. So it is like a smart movie. Even if the movies are crap, you're still going to have eyes on your movie. And all you have to do is just deliver a slasher that's kind of fun, that just kind of takes this familiar idea of a character that people know and have fun with it. And that's all you have to do. Winnie the Pooh, honestly, comparing this to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was actually good. That's saying a lot, but listen, let's just start with my notes because I feel like I'll have a lot to say. This movie starts off in a fashion that I was really surprised with. It was self-aware. We had the scroll from Star Wars, and this movie's like, hey, listen, we have nothing to do with Mickey Mouse and nothing to do with Disney, and they really hate us, and we try to contact them, but they still really hate us. Listen, this movie was fun, and I was like, oh, this actually might be self-aware, crappy, bad. And I was like, no, this is good. And this movie starts off in the future because we're in a prison cell type of thing. We have police officers interviewing a girl who has survived from that night, and her acting is quite good. And I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be a surprise. Not many people have talked about this, so maybe it's going to be like a little bit of fun hidden gem. One of those movies that's obviously not great, but it's just fun. And then, we forget all about that because we transport into the party and we see this big group of people who have the worst relationships I have ever seen in my life. Nothing makes a movie more awful than whenever the relationships don't feel authentic because of how awful the acting is. Because you see, like, oh my god, they emphasize this so much. We see like love interests and people that don't like each other. You know, like every single dynamic in a generic friend group, we see that in this movie. And all these dynamics don't work because these characters do not have any chemistry and no relationship on screen. Because we see a guy like, hey, so I think I like you. And she's like, I don't, listen, come on, you don't really. And he's like, yeah, I've liked you since like forever. And see this performance that I'm giving you on the screen right now. This performance is better than what happened in the actual movie, and that is hand on my heart. It was that bad. Every single conversation is painful. We have a manager. Oh my god. The manager of this amusement park. There's a lot to say about this guy. He is an American, I think, and he puts on the worst British accent, and that's not the worst thing. So he's like clocking out and he's like, oh, I managed the place, blah blah blah. And then the two girls actually end up having a party, whatever. So this guy goes into a room and he's like, hey, I'm gonna stick on a movie. And he puts on Steamboat Willie, which is like a really, really old Mickey the Mouse movie. And as he's watching this and drinking his gin and tonic, we see the mask of Mickey Mouse speaking to him. And I was like, okay, this is goofy, but I can get behind this. And from that we can gather that the mask has taken over the entity of Mike, the manager, and now Mickey Mouse has possessed his body. The mask is on him, and Mickey Mouse is gonna go out and cause carnage. He's gonna kill people, he's gonna go crazy. And does that happen? Guess, just guess, come on, give a guess, have a think. Does it happen? Have a think. No, it does not happen, because this movie, oh my god, this actually hurts me so much. This movie is 80 minutes long, and guess how long we have to wait in this movie. Just guess how long we have to wait in this movie before we get one kill on screen. Guess. Over 60 minutes, and I am not joking. This movie shows you 2 proper kills on the screen, and they look horrible. You are waiting. Oh my god. This makes me so angry. You know what makes this worse is that it's all set in this amusement park, and if they're not showing Mickey Mouse killing people, what do you think they're showing? Nothing. They're showing these stupid fucking relationships on the screen by these characters you do not care about. Whenever you watch a movie that is just centered around a group of people doing something stupid, like in a cabin or an amusement park, what do you want? You want to see them suffer, you want something bad to happen to them, you want their relationships to fall apart. That's all you want, and you get none of that ever. And you want to know what? Listen, if you're not sold that this is the worst movie I've ever watched, listen to this. So obviously Mickey Mouse is trying to kill people. This is how he kills people. Ignore the outfit. I'm like half in my pajamas. So we see like somebody standing here, and Mickey Mouse stands up and he's just doing this. This is a knife. That's literally it. He does nothing else. Obviously, he doesn't crouch down. He stands up like this with a knife, with this stupid mask on that looks, don't even get me started on how awful Mickey looks. I'm not even going to talk about that. He just stands there and he runs towards the camera, and then it cuts scene and it cuts back to 2 characters you know nothing about. You don't care about them. You don't care that they're going to college. You don't care that they have this relationship, because this movie doesn't make you care about the characters. It tries. It does an awful job. Just trust me, you do not care about these characters. And for an hour, we just see him running towards the screen. But you know what? What will solidify how awful this movie is? So, we see Mickey Mouse. What's the worst word I could say here? We see him teleport whenever he wants. 60 minutes into the movie, he taps somebody on the shoulder who's like playing in AOR, and he taps her on the shoulder, she takes off the goggles, and he teleports. Because somehow, Mickey Mouse has developed the ability to teleport. And do you want to know how this movie ends? This group of people, we have like 4 people. Listen, I'm spoiling this because why? I don't want you to watch this. I want to spoil it for you so you don't have to watch this. We see 4 people. They have captured Mickey Mouse because they figured out that strobe lighting makes him kind of freak out, which I thought was ridiculous, because we see that happen whenever they flash like a light at him and he goes like this. This is literally how he acts. It is ridiculous. So we see him do a bit of this, but then they've all, as I said, they've all realized that strobe lighting really makes him freak out. So they all get some lights, even though you can actually see the bar lights in the background. Great production. And he freaks out, and then they all have a hold of him. And guess what Mickey Mouse does? he teleports away. And then he teleports back and he cuts somebody's head off. And he teleports away again, and the characters are like, I didn't even get to ask her out. And Mickey Mouse just came and cut off somebody's head and teleported away. Genuinely, that is how the script is read, and that is how the movie ends. Yep. I genuinely don't think a movie has made me this upset. I remember watching Past Lives and that had me in tears. The Mousetrap, or whatever you call this movie, has made me more upset. I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much. It is awful. The coolest thing Mickey Mouse does that I thought was entertaining is that we have a drunk guy and Mickey Mouse puts him on a roller coaster and he makes the roller coaster go around while the guy's really drunk. And the guy's like, I'm too drunk for this. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And then nothing else fun happens in the entire movie because Mickey Mouse looks horrible. He doesn't kill anybody for the entire movie. And whenever he does, it looks horrific. And all you want from a stupid movie like this is just some fun. And you get no fun. You just get sheer pain in your heart and sheer anger because nothing, and I cannot emphasize this enough, nothing happens. Why am I not talking about specific scenes in the movie? Why am I not talking about like specific things that happen in the movie? Because genuinely, nothing happens. We see this group of people kind of run around, they have drinks, they go to a door and they see that it's locked and they're like, we didn't lock this. And then Mickey Mouse somehow is able to like hack into the speakers and he's able to communicate, and he kind of sounds like a rip-off version of Saw. So we hear him going like, come and find me, and it's just them looping around the arcade. Mickey Mouse sees them, goes like "Urgh!" at them, and the scene cuts because there's so many characters in this movie that we just jump between characters whenever something exciting is about to happen. And it's just that repeated over and over. It's the same formula over and over and over. And this movie, I think, Jenny has pushed me to the point of I'm not watching these stupid horror movies for a long time. Maybe this is the last one for the year. It is that bad. The only thing that redeems this movie this little bit is Rebecca, the girl in the cell who has survived and is telling the police in the future what has happened. Her acting is good because it is so minimal. She says very little and it is effective. Her attitude, just the way she acts, it's good. And that is the only positive from this movie. I do not recommend that you watch this movie, but if you do, please let me know why you watched it and what you thought about it. It's a challenge. Do you want a challenge? Go watch this movie and let's have a discussion about this movie online. But I am done. I am going to bed. I'm fed up. No more. No more. So that's everything I have to say about this silly, silly movie. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I need a break. Done. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye.